Hello everyone, welcome back to Art Incorporated. Today we are in the classroom and we are going to be creating a tissue paper painting. So for this activity you will need a pair of scissors, a cup with a little bit of water in it, a piece of cardstock paper or watercoloring paper works as well. You need a paintbrush and some tissue paper. I have a whole bunch of colors here. So what we're going to try to do is we are going to essentially glue down our tissue paper onto this cardstock with water, and then when you let it dry, the color from the tissue paper leaches out of the paper and it transfers onto this paper. So when it's all dry, you can peel up the tissue paper and see the colors that are left underneath. So I'm going to unroll some of my tissue paper and I'm just going to cut some squares or some shapes out of this paper. I have a whole bunch of different colors and I'm just gonna use my scissors and cut a whole bunch out. And they don't have to be perfect shapes. You can do whatever shapes you want. You can do rectangles, squares, circles. That is all up to you. So I have a bunch of different sheets here in different colors. That should be enough for our painting, I think. If not, I'll cut a little bit more. And then you're going to take your paintbrush and your little bit of water. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water to my paper. Oh, it looks like I have a dirty brush. I'm going to get a clean brush and then put it on my paper. So now I have a clean brush and I'm just going to dip it in my water here. And then I'm going to lightly tap it on our paper just to get it ready for the tissue paper. So this water is going to act kind of like our glue. And you don't need it to be completely wet, we just need a little bit of water in there. There's a little string in mine. Okay, so I have water all over my paper, and then I'm going to use my cut pieces of tissue paper and I'm going to lay it all down on here, and you're going to press it down a little bit, and you can do it in all different ways. It doesn't have to be like up and down. You could put them on their side. You can lay them on top of each other too. You just want to fill in the spaces. Mine's almost completely covered. I'm going to rip this piece up a little bit so I can put it in two different spots. A little bit there and a little bit here. Okay, so here's my tissue paper so far. And I'm going to take my brush with a little bit of water again. And I'm going to press out a little bit of the water. But you want to dab right over that tissue paper again to make sure that it gets really, really wet. This brush is not very good. To get some new brushes. But we're adding more water to encourage all of the color in the paper to leave the tissue paper and go onto our white piece of paper. And then when you have yours all colored, you want to let it dry. And we'll check on mine in a few hours to see how it's doing. Almost done. Okay, mine has thoroughly been wet. So it's completely wet, and I'm just gonna let it dry here for a few hours and we'll come check on it then. So here is my tissue paper painting, and all we are going to do is we are going to pull up our tissue paper, and hopefully you can see a little bit of the blue that stayed behind from that piece. I'm gonna pull them all off and we're gonna see what it looks like. So here is my finished tissue paper painting. So it's very, very light. I think if I added more water, it would probably have made them leach the color a little bit more. Some spots were very, very light, and some spots, like where the green tissue paper was and the red tissue paper, turned out very bright. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson, and thank you again for joining me for Art Incorporated, and we'll see you again soon.